Bodybuilding-FM Next Generation. So, welcome back to today's episode 71. Today I've got an international guest again. Once again, two-time Olympian Antoine Loth is back in the game. And man, this man is growing like crazy. And I think in 1 year since we talked last time, I saw our last podcast was on 9th August last year.
Yeah.
It happened so much like in other guys' whole career. So a lot of things were happening in your life and also in your career and coaches and stuff. So great to have you back on the podcast. And I'm really happy to have the chance to talk to you today.
So thank you for inviting me again. That's always nice talking to you. Um, a lot of happened since last time actually. Like you said, we spoke in August last year. So between August last year and now, some changes, some. I step on stage at the Olympia. I qualified again for the Olympia, but unfortunately, I will not go. Um, and now I'm with a new coach, a new way to work together. So and we have interesting challenges in the future. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, let's go right back since we stopped talking last time. It was on 9th August when you qualified for the Olympia. After your qualification, you just went on prepping, I think, like the whole year, right?
Yeah,
Without a break.
we just did if I remember well, like a 5 week break or something, and then 9 weeks out of the Olympia, I was back. I was back on prep, and um, in last year calendar, the Olympia was a bit later. So
Hmm.
end of August, there was a show in Spain, and I was ready ahead, so we decided to do it since it was qualifying for this year Olympia, and I won it. So I won my qualification, and at that time I was thinking that I would stay in Classic. So I was super happy to have both qualifications the same year, and also it was my first year as a pro, so that was quite intense. And the funny thing is, I competed on. I think I competed on Sunday for the show in Spain that qualified for 2024. The show was at night, so I stepped off stage at like 10:30 or something like that. And the next day at 6 a.m., I have my flight to Orlando. So that was
Crazy.
quite a rush to get to the airport and so on. But that was quite intense.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine like that you've been an amateur a year ago. It's that your pro career seems like there are already so many things happening. It's really crazy that it's just your first year as a pro, basically. I mean,
It was my first month. My first month as a pro. Uh, a change of category because classic physique was not my category. Uh, I did not even compete as an amateur as classic physique. Um, we just take the opportunity, and it works pretty well. I think, like every bodybuilder and amateur bodybuilder in the world, your dream is to one time participate at the Olympia for most.
yeah,
To accomplish that a few months after being pro, that was quite a shock for me too. It took me a lot of time to realize what I had accomplished, and I think I just realized it after the Olympia when I step off stage.
mm,
And go, wow, I step on stage at the Olympia now. So
yeah. Since you reached your goal pretty early, um, was it easy for you to stay hungry after that, or was it like, yeah, I didn't have to do too much when I was a pro to get to my goal, because you worked a
Yeah,
lot to get pro, but when you were pro, you almost immediately qualified for the Olympia, so the big goal was already there. So did you stay hungry afterwards, or was it like, what do I do
yeah,
next?
yeah. For me, as in my mind, at first I was staying classic physique. My goal went from I want to compete once at the Olympia, at I want to be in the top 10 in the Olympia. So I think that you always will find some further goal, be better in
Mm,
the category, be or I don't know. I had also in mind to have at least 10 pro wins, because I like to compete. I'm not someone that will do one show a year. I love to be on stage and
yes, same.
all the process of competing. And I think you're the same.
Yeah.
When you will be pro, you will not compete once a year. You will do one, two, three shows until your body is telling you, "Oh, come on, man, time to regroup, relax, and
Mm.
come back next year." So yeah, I had these two goals, like being a top 10 Olympian classic physique, and also get the most pro wins possible.
Okay. And how was it at the Olympia backstage? Like Chris Bumstead, Brian Ansley, were they really chilled, or did you expect them to be different?
Uh, some are not chilled at all. You can see that even though they have done many Olympias, even though they are like uh, almost for sure top six, top seven at the Olympia. Uh, you can see that some guys still have the pressure. I think
Hmm.
that Chris comes backstage like Chris Bumstead, knowing that he will win.
Okay.
Uh, because I think for now he do not really have he does not really have any competition. Um, but some other guys, some other top guys, you can feel the pressure,
Mm.
and I understand that backstage before the show you are in focus on your own, and you're not here to take pictures and to talk too much with everybody. Uh, but for example, Chris is someone that always took pictures with even competitors in backstage.
Yeah.
So that proved that the guy is really chilled and really confident about what he will deliver on stage. So yeah, some you felt that they had pressure and they want to be focused on their own, and they are not here to chit chat with others.
Mhm. Did you accept some guys to be different in real life? Like we are all getting a picture of them do it to social media, and did they did there were some guys who were really different, and you thought, well, they might be really cool, do it to the social media, and they were really not so nice backstage or stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So some guys are when you see the Instagram, they are quite different. But also, it's hard to judge because backstage is always
Mm.
um, uh, an atmosphere
Different
that is really
situation. Yeah.
different that outside the competition.
Mm.
Uh, that's why I was like, okay, this guy is really focused. He's really he don't want to talk with everyone, so I'm okay with that. Uh, but yeah, social media one thing. Everybody wants. Everybody shows what they want people to see,
Yeah.
uh, and some guys are not like their Instagram.
Mm.
Uh,
And what was the experience in general being at the Olympia? Was it like exactly like you thought it would be, or was it completely different? Did it go really fast? Could you enjoy it?
um, my fear was to step on stage and uh, missing the enjoying parts of
Mm.
doing your first Olympia. So I had the chance to be there 15 days ahead. So during these 15 days, I was trying to work on myself to let me enjoy the moment, because it was my first Olympia. It was already a win to be there, even though I'm a competitive person and I always want to be competitive and not just here to step on stage and say, "Hello, guys, thank you for watching and goodbye."
Mm.
But I think I succeeded doing that, because in the end, after the show, uh, I realized that I was enjoying every part of the show. The waiting, that is not long. In comparison of other shows, you do not wait long. When they call you, they call you, and when they told you in 20 minutes you're on stage, in 20 minutes you're on stage. So you
Hmm.
really see the difference in terms of organization. The organization is really top of the notch. They are taking care of the athletes. Um, the sad part is that you're competing in the exhibition part of the Olympia,
Yeah.
uh, and if you're not in the top 10, you will not step on the real Olympia stage.
Yeah.
uh, um, that's the main difference with bodybuilding, for example, for open bodybuilding, where everyone have the chance to step on stage. So that was, but I knew it before going, so I was not
Yeah.
disappointed. Um, and yeah, the other part is in classic physics, there is a lot of competitors. Last year we were, I think, 40 or something, and this year there will be more than 60. So this goes really, really fast. The
Mm.
judging is really fast. So unfortunately, if you're not in the top 10, you will not spend a lot of time on stage. So
Mm.
you also have to be comprehensive about that.
Mm. I remember. I think the venue was pretty cold as well, right? Where the exhibition was. So,
Yeah,
um, but you placed fifth, top 15, I think, right? So you've been really close to the top 10 already in your first Olympia, wasn't
yeah.
you?
I was in the third call out with Laszlo, Fabio, um, and I think that the 15th was Laszlo, and
Mm.
then everyone were 16s. But I was in the same line that this guy, just next to Laszlo and Fabio. So I would say I was like 17th or something. So that was quite good for me. Um, and I think that if I if I had decided to stay on in classic, I would have done some strategical show to be seen by the head judges
Mm.
in the US. That is really important. That they see your face, that they see your physique before going on stage. Because
Like Tampa,
don't,
Texas, and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, if you don't have some media hype that some guys have this year, like the Spanish guy Josema, that everyone
Mm.
is talking about him, even though he is not competing in the US, the judges know who he is and they will look at him, you know.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
because it in bodybuilding you don't have to forget that it's a human judging, and the eyes it attracted by the physique that is all as already known.
Mm.
So that you see that when you're competing there, actually, that the
Yeah.
judges are looking at the people that I already know to see, oh, okay, he's better than last year, or is it better than Texas Pro Show where I judge him. So that what happened.
Mm. Have you been happy with the placing as you are that competitive?
Yeah, I was quite happy with the placing. I think maybe I could have been a little bit higher, but for my first year, I was super happy to be there with these guys. So
Mhm.
I'm not complaining about that.
Did you fill the weight cap completely?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
So did do you think there would have been room for improvement in classic, or not so much as you're already at the weight
Uh,
cap?
I would say that for me, the weight cap and the feedback that they gave me was quite clear. They wanted more quadriceps. They wanted more quads. So that's a big muscle. If I take some weights on my quads, I have to shrink the upper body, and
Yeah.
I'm not a monster from the upper body either. So I think that, and I think after thinking about my season last year, uh, that my body making the weight cap was not the body at 100%.
Okay.
So uh, and in the end, that's what you want to show on stage, your body at 100%. So that's also why I have took the decision to switch to open, because in open we do not have weight cap. I will do not have to do crazy amount of cardio, and my body will be on 100%, and we will
Mm.
see what the result will be. But that's the most important thing for me.
Mm. Do you think you have the potential to place higher at the Olympia in open bodybuilding than compared to classic?
No, I think I have to be realistic with myself. Uh, I think I think I can qualify for the Olympia as an open, um, but to enter the top 10 at the Olympia in open,
It's crazy.
you have to be crazy good. So
Yeah, yeah.
when you see that, for example, a guy like Andrew will be this year between fourth and seven, that you only have three places left. So, and you're
Mm.
next to Andrew. So, yeah, that will be complicated.
Yeah, there are also a lot of young guys coming up, like Mo Fuda and
Yeah,
Martin Fitzwater, who are also
yeah.
very young and very hungry as well. Um, but if you hadn't qualified for the Olympia in your first year as a pro, do you think you would have stayed in Classic because there was still the opportunity to qualify for the Olympia soon? And as you already got the qualification in your bag, you think you can move on easily to Open because it's a
Uh,
milestone in your career, right? To be at the Olympia, no matter which class.
yeah, but I think that the Olympia as an open is quite different.
Okay.
My mind, in my mind, is quite different, because you do not have as many show as classic to qualify. Um, the competition is, I think, harder to qualify as an open as a classic,
Yeah.
um, because you see that at some point in the season in classic there is some show that the level is not Olympia level. The winner is not an Olympia level winner. Uh, so that's how bodybuilding is done. But I think that's why I want to compete in open, because for me the true Olympia is in open.
Okay. Yeah, I realize. I remember when we talked last time, you already were thinking about maybe in 1 2 years I'm gonna move up to the Open, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. Okay, so now you're in a big off season for quite some time, but I want to go back to after the Olympia because then you made some drastic changes. I think. Um, changed the coach as well and also the class. And you've been working with Stefan for quite a while and you've been really successful. And a lot of guys were asking, why did you change the coach? Because you were so happy together. Do you want to talk about that or do you want to keep it for you?
Yeah, that was a personal decision. I was really successful with Stefan, and we have done a great job. But at some point, uh, our personal relation was not. uh, the way it used to be. So so for me, I think that was a sign that I needed a change. And also I had the discussion, I had the talk with Stefan about changing to open, and uh, he was not agreeing with me. He wanted me to stay in classic. um, but classic was also a bit of a mind fuck, sorry for the term, uh,
Yeah.
for me, because of the weight limits, because of everything I had to do to make the weight cap, uh, and that was also, I think, I had a I had a brain saturation with the classic physique, and always making weight. One time they measure you 1 centimeter less, one
Mhm.
time 1 centimeter more, um, and uh, and yeah, and always the thing that uh, I will step on stage knowing that I'm not 100%. So in the end, it's quite frustrating, because some guys can compete in classic physique and be on 100%. Some other don't.
Yeah.
So after that's a choice, or you accept that and you compete in classic physique, uh, or you don't accept that and you switch. uh, I think that I have a frame that can hold more muscle, Um and I think that my body will shine a little bit more with more muscle. So I will try, and we'll see. At the end, you have to enjoy what you're doing. So
Yeah.
and I was not, in the end, after the Olympia, when I was also prepping for the Arnold Classic, uh, I was not enjoying the prep.
Mm.
So that's where, in my mind, something was wrong, and I needed a change.
Ah, so after Olympia, you already were in prep for a classic Arnold for Arnold Classic in classic physique. Ah, I didn't, and then you
Yeah.
still did with Stefan, right? And then you stopped prepping at how many weeks out?
Uh, I start prepping the 25th of December.
Hmm.
So I think that was something like 10 weeks out from the
Hmm.
Arnold Classic.
And then you got injured, right?
Yep. I had an injury in the quadriceps, and I could not compete. I injured myself 2 weeks out, I think.
Ah, yeah.
So, and yeah, after after the prep, I was thinking about what I will do with my bodybuilding career, and I decided to make the change to open.
Mm. I was sad that you didn't make it to Arnold Classic because it's also a dream and goal of so many guys to be invited to the Arnold because it's an honor because you have to be invited and can't qualify for that.
Yeah, yeah. I was really happy to be invited. That's why it was quite hard to throw the towel and to decide to not compete. But we will see. Maybe I will be invited another time.
Mm. But was it so bad that you couldn't compete? Because I remember Anthony also tore his quad like 6 weeks out before he won his pro card, and he still competed. Like, was it impossible to step on stage?
Yeah, I wasn't able to contract my quadriceps,
Oh,
so
okay,
wasn't able to train, wasn't able to contract my quadriceps. A lot of fluid retention in the area, and with the flight and so on, I didn't see the point,
okay. But
because
you were,
because
yeah,
my
sorry.
goal at the Arnold was, I had the chance to have a small lineup and to be compared with top guide. So the
Yeah,
goal was to compete with someone like Dabul. Dabul is really known for his conditioning. Uh,
so are you, yeah.
I think I can bring conditioning too. So it would have been interesting to be next to him in comparison. And in the end, it was the top six of last year. So that was a good opportunity for me. And strategic, and from a strategic standpoint, it was also a good a good opportunity, because if you're compared well with a top six guy, next year at the Olympia, they will know you, and maybe you
Mm.
will place higher.
Mm. But just with small breaks, you were prepping for like 1.5 years already. So you haven't really had an off season or a break. It wasn't exhausting mentally or physically
Me-
for you
men-
because
it was mentally crushing. In
yeah,
the end, it was mentally crushing, uh, because um, I, I was doing a lot of cardio. I was doing
I
a lot
know.
of steps to make the weight, and when you know that after your training you still have cardio to do, you still have steps to do, and you will put your ass in the sofa only at 11 to go to bed at 1 o'clock, and tomorrow again. Um, it can break you mentally, and I was exhausted at the end, because like you said,
Yeah,
uh, it was almost it was almost a 13 month 14 months prep.
yeah,
so
crazy.
So body, I think that the body was quite responding, even though it was not as fresh at the first competition. That's normal, uh, but it was still responding. I was ready to step on stage before injuring myself, but mentally it was really breaking.
Mm. I can really understand it. It's like a bit like Flex Lewis, who stayed into 12, and everybody wanted to see him in Open to see his full potential, but he
Yeah,
decided to win the 212 7 times instead, and could only eat like 2,500 calories a day to make the limit. And yeah, but maybe at the end of his career right now, he still asks himself, how good could have been in Open, right? If he had
yeah.
if he brought his body to his full potential. So you can't have the regret after swapping to Open and see what you're capable of, right?
That's exactly it. And I was competing in bodybuilding as an amateur. I was enjoying every part of the prep as a bodybuilder when I was competing in amateur, and that's why I want to go to open to see my body at 100% and see what I can do. Um, and I'm not like Flex Lewis. I'm not renouncing to an Olympia title in
Yeah,
classic.
yeah, for sure.
uh, that's an easier decision to take for me.
Mhm. But as you said, you disagreed with Stefan. Didn't he see your potential in Open? Because as an amateur, you also compete in Open and also have been prepping with him already.
Uh, he was not agreeing with me. He wanted me to stay in classic. He told me that as an open, I wouldn't be as good as a classic. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see which is right.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe as a classic, it's like what you asked me before. As a classic, could have entered the top 10 this year and in the coming years. Yeah, maybe in the Olympia as an open, one day will I enter top 10? I don't think so. In that sense, that's true. But I prefer enjoying what I'm doing and
Mhm.
see my body improving each year, growing. Because at the end, when you begin your journey as a bodybuilder, that's what you want: a little bit bigger, a little bit better, a little bit better physique every year. And in classic, I didn't see an evolution that I can have as an open.
Mhm. was it motivating for you to like show Stefan that you can also be really competitive in the open class because he didn't really see it into in you to be
Yeah,
as good
yeah.
as physics? Yeah,
Because for the people that know me, when people are doubting me, that's my fuel. I think you can't give me a better motivation than telling me you will not do it or you can't
yeah,
do it. I I hear this song from the beginning of my career in bodybuilding. Ah, you will not be good in bodybuilding. Ah, you will not turn pro as a bodybuilder.
mm,
You will never go to the Olympia. Guess what? I've done everything.
yeah, yeah. That's really cool, and that also keeps you hungry, like to keep your work up because you always got something to prove for yourself and also
Yeah,
to others. You don't have to, but you will, right? So, um, all right, and after so you were instantly stopping to work with Stefan after you injured your quad and you decided to stop the prep, right?
yep, exactly.
Okay. Did you already have a coach in mind to
No,
work on with?
no.
So
The first week, I was just trying to enjoy life again,
yeah.
come back to life, um, training what I could, training up a body, um, and enjoying myself. And after a few weeks, I was wondering. Uh, which coach I could work with. And I contacted Martin, and we had a call, a video chat, and we clicked right away. He was agreeing with me concerning my goals, my objective. Um, he told me a bit of the roadmap that we will follow to get there, uh, and I was agreeing with everything. So I told him,
Mhm.
so let's go and work together.
So, okay, so before we start talking about Martin, I want to ask you, last time we talked, you were still working as a taxi driver. Are you still, or did you stop that job?
Yeah, yeah, I'm still doing that. Yeah, yeah, still doing
Crazy.
that from home. Yeah.
Since you've been a two-time Olympian, you're still doing a regular job. That sounds like pretty crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, a lot of shows also cost a lot of money, right? So
Yeah. You know me, you know that as well. So and I don't know, to have a normal job, it's also um
refreshing.
yeah, refreshing, because you're not always in the bodybuilding circle and bodybuilding talks and everything.
Mm,
So it also helps you to keep your brain a bit fresher, if I can
mm.
say.
But as we all also want to make money due to bodybuilding, did you think it would be more successful if you stayed in classic for your career as an athlete on social media and stuff? Because you could have placed higher or be in multiple Olympian, being talked a lot about because you can win many shows and stuff. So just for your social media and your career and making money, would have been smarter to stay in classic? Do you think, or just doesn't matter?
Um, yeah, maybe. I have also think about that when I took the decision, uh, and I think that, yeah, for sure, if you can you can promote yourself better, maybe as a classic physique when you're winning shows, when you're stepping multiple time on the Olympia, you're attracting sponsors and so on. But for me, I've always done bodybuilding for me,
Mm,
and I have the chance, due to my work, that I do not need bodybuilding to live
yeah.
financially. So for me, and I have the chance to be able to do both at the same time, and that my job do not interfere my bodybuilding career, and my bodybuilding do not interfere my job.
Mm,
Um, So that's also why I've decided to go to Open, because uh, from a financial standpoint, maybe it will be easier for me in Classic Physique, but that's extra money,
Hmm.
and I do not need that money to live. So
Yeah. So you're also doing social media more for fun. You're not like the main social media guy who does like 10 stories a day, right? So that's
yeah,
not a personality, right? So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, I understand. Okay, so you also swapped your sponsors. I think you're not working with ESN anymore, right? Or
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, but well, that was we another sponsor promised me something, and in the end he did not come, and by the time I've already told DSN that I wanted to switch. so
Ah,
uh,
okay.
so
Shit.
right now I'm with no one, and I'm my own sponsor, and that's it.
Okay. So, are you interested in any sponsorships, like any specific?
um, I will see if someone want to sponsor me. We can always have a talk. The thing I want to be aligned with the objective of the company for sure, because I will not promote something that I will not
Yeah.
eat. I'm not that kind of person, so I need to like the product, like the line of product they have, uh, to work with them, um, and uh, and yeah, we'll see what time brings.
Okay. And if there are so many good coaches out there, why exactly did you contact Martin and not someone else like Patrick Chua, who also has a lot of guys, or any American coaches who like are more popular? Because I mean,
Yeah,
you could choose any coach in the world as a two-time Olympian, right?
yeah, but for the American coach, in the past, I've already worked with one, and the time shift different, I was not really fan of,
Mm-hmm.
because I know it can be a struggle, especially when you're in peak week and show
Yeah.
day and so on. Um, for the top coach aspect, I think that top coach, uh, they are not treating all the athletes the same way.
Okay.
Uh, Even though you're pro, you have to bring something on the table if you want the 100% focus of the coach on yourself. So I do not have a big following on Instagram. I will not bring some fame or additional fame to a top coach. That was why quite reluctant to work with top coaches, because that's what I feel. That I do not have any confirmation of this,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I was feeling. So I followed the work of Martin's since quite some times before, and I was I was liking what he was doing with the athletes. Uh, Also appreciate the fact that he's traveling with them. He's always with them, or almost every time with them when they compete, even though it's abroad. Um, he seems to be, and I have the confirmation that it's someone that is really involved with the athletes, take care of them. Um, because there are some coaches are also okay, they take care of the athletes, um, but they also have benefits working with the athletes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
for sure.
because the athlete can bring you more clients, more business, more sponsors, and I think that in that sense Martin is not like like some of the top coaches that are out there.
Mm. But I think the real top coaches don't really care too much about social media, right? Because they are so much into the sport, like they're really competitive as well and want to get the best out of their athletes anyway. Because I mean, if I was a coach and a top 15 or 16 Olympian is coming to me, I mean, if I managed to bring you up to place 10 or 11, it was already really successful for me without the social media stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So, okay. Is it annoying for you that you don't, because you're working so hard and play so well at the Olympia that you don't have so much social media following, while some guys who basically are just doing influencer stuff, having so much social media followers and money, making money out of it. Is it annoying to you, or you don't really care about that?
Um, for me, that's quite annoying because for me, those people would not have so much following without the bodybuilding core of the business. I mean
Hmm.
that the without Ronnie Coleman, to simplificate everything, without Ronnie Coleman, there is no fitness community because that the people that have built the fitness community, and yeah, in the end, people are more interested in some guys doing some videos about, I do not know about what, but they are more interesting in the fitness influencers. They can maybe relate more to someone that is competing, that someone that is sacrificing a lot. But I think. Uh, that's also my responsibility to put some to put more content in Instagram, put more content on YouTube, and so on. So you can't ask people to follow you, to follow your journey, if you're not putting some content on the mainstream media. So
Yeah,
it goes both ways, but that's true. That sometimes it's quite annoying to see some fitness influencers that never competed, never doing a diet, a hard diet, uh, and they have millions and millions of followers.
yeah, yeah. Times changed. Some years ago, you would have been on many magazine covers already, like Flex and stuff, with your placing. And
Yeah,
nowadays, yeah, it's really hard to get yeah, the how can I say? It's really hard to make hard work pay off without using social media. So
yeah,
okay, so I already talked to Martin at the pro qualifier in Poland, as he was there with one of his athletes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, he's also a really nice guy, and we talked a bit. Um, as you worked with Stefan for many years, what are the main differences between them regarding training, supplements, maybe even PEDs and personalities? What would you say?
Um, I would say that Martin is taking into account a lot of health markers that Stefan do not ask. I would say that Martin is asking them from you. So you have the responsibility to measure your blood glucose, to take your tension, to rate how you slept, and it gives you a tracker of everything, of your health,
Mm,
of your sleep, of your training, um, and that's something that Stefan do not do. uh, Training wise, it's quite it's quite personalized. Like I think it's a bit more personalized than Stefan. Stefan give you the broad push pull legs more or less, and Martin right now with the pictures, with how the body is responding, we are sometimes changing the training in regards of how my body is reacting,
mm,
which body part need more attention now, which body part responded the best, and now we can slow a bit down our frequency or volume or everything. And as far as PED of are concerned, with Stefan, I was always working with Test and Boldenon, and now I'm working with Test, Primo, and Mastero.
Okay.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, that's like the typical English approach, right? Like
Exactly.
everybody is doing in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's it.
Okay.
And I would not say that one is better than the other, but I'm reacting well to both. So
Okay. So you're having a track sheet where you have to track your glucose daily and stuff and send it to
yeah,
him every week. Or?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I have a track sheet where I rate my training, give a feedback about my digestion, put my weights every day. Um, how was my sleep, the tension, the blood glucose, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So you got a lot of information.
Yeah.
I think as a professional bodybuilder, you should do it anyways, track it. But having the track sheet, you're having the pressure to do it because he wants to see it, right? And
Exactly.
sometimes some guys get lazy and don't do it because they don't have to prove it, right? I think.
Yeah, and you can be a bit more proactive because um, even though you're doing it not every day, but 3 times a week, for example, taking your tension or your blood glucose, um, you will tell your coach when something is out of range, and with this he always has a view of how he was responding with the weight, how it was responding with the salt, how it was responding with the water intake, and we can make adjustment from there. In the other way, okay, I wake myself up, I have 14 over 80, and that's just a number. The person, the coach cannot tell you, okay, maybe we can try this. You can't have the response whatsoever right away.
Yeah, you just need the big picture to see it.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
I understand. Okay. Yeah, I think some athletes at top level might be a little bit annoyed having to do it every week because um, things like digestion and sleep is something you know how to improve it by yourself basically, right? So I think like if you put if you take Nathan and put him into Martin's coaching, he wouldn't do it basically because
No,
he's like
no, no, no.
you know you have to be the type of person who's into it, I think. And but
Yeah,
yeah, it's actually smart, absolutely. So yeah, cool. um all right, and you're also wearing the condition coaches merch already,
yeah.
or athlete shirt. I wanted to ask you something different because I saw it at Cristiano Ronaldo. He also paints his fingernails and toenails black. Is it like a style thing, or it has to do something with performance as well? Because some top
No,
athletes do it. It's
that
just a
that's
style.
totally a style thing.
Ah, okay, good to know. All right. Now you're getting pretty heavy. Have you been that heavy before? Any
No,
day before? No?
my heaviest before one was 112, and I'm
Crazy.
120.
112
So
is what I'm right now at. Yeah, crazy.
yeah, that's why my heaviest before.
So, did something change with the added weight? Do you need like a CPAP or APAP mask for sleep, or
For now, no, but I think that it will come soon because I had some bad apnea episodes
yeah,
last few days. So I will have to get my CPAP as everyone.
yeah. As we are talking Alicante, you said you like maybe you start doing shows at the end of the year. Is it still the plan, or do you want to say something about your future
uh,
competition plans, or is it still a secret?
the end of next year.
Ah, so you're doing one full year of
Yeah,
off season.
I
Crazy.
will do one full year of off season. I want to do things the more efficiently possible and take my time and do not rushing. Uh, so that's why we decided to to put the end of 2025 as an objective.
Mm. How many calories are you eating right now?
Around 6,000 a day.
Yeah, great. That's a lot.
About
And you're still hungry, or is the appetite is still there, or is it hard?
For now, yeah, appetite is still there. We have found some tricks with the food volume to be able to be still hungry because I'm eating more almost 1 kilo of carbs per day. So if you just stick with rice at one point, you will explode. So
Mm.
we tried some tricks with other foods, knowing that my stomach is tricky. So we have to be clever about that because I've a princess stomach, so I can't handle every type of food.
Mm. So, what are the tricks? Do you want to tell them? Maybe some
Yeah,
listeners also interested.
I'm eating some gnocchis, for example, that are not
Yeah,
really they do not take a lot of volume, and
I
they
was
bring
I was doing it yesterday too. That's funny.
and I am gluten intolerant, so it's been years that I've suppressed any type of bread, but I've found some relatively tasty gluten-free bread. So we introduce also that with some jam, so to push up the calories.
Okay, but you're a type of person who always stays pretty lean. I think I don't think you can really get too fat. I can't imagine it on your body because on stage you are super lean, and also in the off season you're pretty lean for an off season open bodybuilder. Um, but do you think you can still do a whole year of off season without a cut? Because at one point the appetite has to crush, right? Because the body isn't responsive to that much of to the amount of food anymore.
Yeah, I think that it will come at one point that we'll have to go back to step back the calories and do a little bit of cleaning, a mini diet, mini cuts if you want to see it
Mm.
that way, to be a little bit more sensitive and responsive. Because, like you said, at the end, when you're eating month and month and month after month, more than 6,000 calories at one point, even though you don't get fat, you're not that responsive anymore. So you have to do it that way, but we have plenty of time. So
Yeah. What do you think is the maximum amount you can do an off season without a break or a cut, and still be sensitive to food?
uh, I think that after this push phase, maybe we will step back calories a bit. So at the end of the year, maybe.
Okay, so like 8 months. I think the 8 months is like a turning point where, for me personally, where I need to do a cut or start prep again because otherwise it gets pretty hard. So,
Yeah,
um, how old are you right now? 34, I think, or 30, 35?
35.
35 already. So, okay. As you started bodybuilding pretty late at 27, if I was right,
28. Yeah.
28, you still got plenty of time. But making the decision from changing from classic to open, did you also have your age on mind? Because as you're getting older, the body might not, yeah, might not be that sensitive anymore, and also your risk of injuries and stuff and health issues might get higher.
Yeah, for sure. I had that in mind. I was telling me, okay, I'm almost 35. If I want to go once in the open, I have to do it right now because
Hmm.
if I have if I had to wait 2 years, I'm 37, almost 40 to make such a jump for the open. I wouldn't see the sense of it because Maybe I will have a family later and so on. So I can't. I did not see the sense of doing my change at almost 40 years old to open. So that's why it was now or never.
Mm. I think also a lot of that might be a little bit private, but also a lot of things in your personal life changed as you also changed your longtime girlfriend, I think, right?
Yeah.
Did it
Yeah.
also, yeah, I think it has had to be hard mentally as well after the prep, and that added, or when did you break up?
Um, After my first competition last year,
Ah, okay, so it's been quite some time.
after the Portugal competition, we broke up. Um, and actually, prep for me was like prep enables me to forget everything and just focus on prep,
Mm.
so on and so on. Um, Uh, I had already lost my father during the last prep, so it enables your brain to focus on
Mm.
something and forget about the personal shit that can happen.
Okay. All right, so now you're with a new girlfriend already. I think
Yeah.
we met her in Alicante as well. I met her.
Yes.
Yeah, really cool. Okay, and you also got a dog, right?
Yeah, she's right there.
So now even more steps, right?
Yeah. No, she's not a big walker. She is more a fan of the couch and sleeping.
Okay, so perfect for an open bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, she's in off season all year.
So what has been your classic weight at the stage at the Olympia?
Uh, at the waiting on stage, you want
Yeah.
on stage I was like 90, almost 98, 97.8, I think.
Mhm. And what do you think? How many kilos do you need to be able to maybe win a pro show in open?
um I would say that if I can be close to 110, it would be interesting.
That would be a big jump, like 12
uh,
kilos.
uh, I,
Yeah.
I I do not I can't say that I could win with 110, but with 110 I think I could be competitive.
Okay. So what do you think? How many? What's your to go weight in off season to be able to bring 110 kilos on stage? What do you think?
I think that if we can manage to bring my weight in more or less the same condition that I have now, with 123, 125, I think that I could be close to 110 on stage.
Wow, that's so not too many kilos you have to add on, like 3 or 4 kilos if you do like prep like
Yeah,
6 more months,
if
off season 6 more months. That's really possible, right?
I think so, but the body responded really, really well after the when we began, because body was hell of responding. Um, and Now I think it will be more slowly in this phase, but I think we will be able to manage it.
Yeah, yeah, I can really relate that because after the shows, the weight goes up so crazy, training performance jumps up so high, and you're still being lean. That's like the best phase in bodybuilding. I think the most fun part, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, that's really fun to see your body. I was like uh, I was like 108, 100 and almost, yeah, 109 almost, and still have shredded glutes.
Yeah,
In and I was like I was just coming off a health phase, so nothing crazy from PD wise.
yeah, yeah. Same with me. Like my last show was 7 weeks ago, and now my weight is up 112. I think my highest last year's off season was between, which was stable. I once had 117, but it was like very bloated and stuff, right? So I don't
Yeah,
count that. it was normally between 113 and 114. So
Yeah,
I'm already there after 7 weeks post show, and I got some times in off season left. So that's really cool to see also the progress in terms of weight every year, right? So
exactly.
all right. So as I know you, you want to be you want to do shows as long as you get better, right? So you don't think say like when I'm 40, I'm done. You just want to keep going until your body doesn't respond anymore, maybe.
Exactly. As long as I enjoy it, as long as my health enable me to compete, and as long as my body uh, keep let me training as I want, I will compete.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. All right. What do you think? I think one of your friends, Anthony, placed really well and in his pro debut, and he got like a lot of top four, top five placing. Um, do you think he can qualify for the Olympia this or next year? Next year?
I think that next year it's possible when you do such a good first year as a rookie. I think he has every tool to be able to win. If maybe next year we'll fight for a top three, and maybe the next will fight for the win, because we know that Open is a little bit slower.
Mhm.
Um but it's
Yeah.
always depending on who shows up the best and on that day. So everything is possible. But I clearly see the potential of win and qualifying for the Olympia for Anthony. Yeah.
Do you think you can beat him next year at the end of the year if you compete against him?
We will see. We competed last time. We competed together. Uh, he won the overall at the regional show, so uh, I need to beat him next year. Then
All right. We got some questions by the listeners, and I want to make sure to ask them.
yeah,
So let me check. Okay. I think that's a really good question because you're doing off season right now. Your top three tips for a perfect off season.
um, stick on your plan, doing your cardio, and change your mindset in the sense that in off season someday you will not be satisfied by your look in the morning, and maybe put some more emphasis on your training performances, like yeah, this month I want to eat 4 plates on this exercise, and that's also a way to keep yourself motivated, because when you're off season and when you're ending this phase of rebound, when you see yourself full and shredded, then comes the time that you're a bit you do not see the line as deep as before, and sometimes we are seeking new motivation, new way to motivate, and I think that motivate you by your performances in the gym is important.
Okay. Um, do you have a specific morning routine, like getting up, doing vacuum training, mobility stuff, steps?
Yeah,
How's your
when I wake up, I always drink half a liter of water, go on my bike to do some cardio, then doing some step with the dog. Um, I'm finishing with some ab works and vacuum and eat the breakfast.
How long does it take until you eat breakfast after waking up?
Um, like 1 hour or so.
Okay. So you're doing cardio every day also in off season?
Yeah, at least 20
20,
minutes. Yeah.
20 minutes, okay. So Martin's also really he really wants you to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
because
it's important to keep your heart health optimum, to do a bit of cardio and to push a bit on your cardio, to push up the intensity too, because uh, when you're that heavy, your heart will go up quite fast. But when you're not that heavy, you have to put up the intensity on the bike if you want your heart to work a bit.
Okay. Have you also been doing an off season as an amateur? As you being a bodybuilder and amateur, and work with Stefan? Did you also do cardio in the off season, or?
Yeah, always, because I like doing my morning cardio. Is also enable me to wake up and to begin my day right.
Okay. And after how many meals are you training in off season? That's also something I really wanted to know by myself because in the deepest phase of the off season, I like to train after meal one because you're not that full, and in prep, you want to have more meals and to have higher performance in the gym.
That's funny because right now I'm training after one meal,
Yeah.
but before I was training after two meal. But yeah, as you said, in off season maybe I was quite full, and I do not like training with a full stomach. Right now I'm switching to going to train a bit early and only have one meal in. But
Mhm.
definitely in prep, I have two meal before training.
Okay. So is your split still push pull legs or with different focus, or do you have a completely different split right now?
Uh, is it's more like a bro split, but with chest you have some shoulder movements, and on the shoulder day you have some chest movements. I have two leg day, one more hamstring focus, the other more quad focus,
Hmm.
and also an arm day because it's a weakness I need to work on.
Yeah, and that's what I saw at your update, and I also commented that you really improved your arms and your quads, so the split seems to pay off. Um,
Yeah.
are you training every muscle once a week, except for legs, maybe?
Yes, yes, once a week. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's what I was doing last year, and I was doing the training by myself. I took like the exercise Stefan wrote down and put it
yeah,
into my own split, and was doing a 5 days a week split. And now I took a training coach as well for the off season to make more improvements. And now we are doing just a 2 day split, full body
yeah,
push, full body pull. And yeah, it's also really cool to me because the frequency is very high and the volume
yeah.
in the session isn't too high, so the regeneration is really fast. And that's what I'm testing right now. It's
No,
interesting, like
that's quite
there are many
interesting.
things. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also working for the first time with reps in reserve in first set and just go one set all out per exercise. And it's
Okay.
really working pretty cool because um, I used to do a lot of junk volume. If you're a guy who can train very intense and you're doing like drop sets and rest
Yeah,
pause sets and stuff, it might harm your regeneration really hard because you are already trained to failure before, right? And
yeah.
if you cut it out and you are a guy who can train to failure anyways, I think it's a really good thing to do a set with reps in reserve as well. Yeah, that's really cool.
Nice.
All right. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now on? What have you accomplished, and what's been your goals?
Uh,
What are your goals in the next 5 years?
Goals in next 5 years to qualify as an open at the Olympia.
Do you think it's gonna be possible next year already?
Uh, no, I don't think so. To be
Okay, so you need it.
competitive, yes. To win a pro show, I don't think so.
Okay. What is your dream show you want to do, like New York Pro or stuff, or um, well, where do you want to go as a pro? Which show? And
Yeah, New York Pro is definitely on the map. Uh, Also like the Tampa, Texas, or some show which I'm interested in. And last year I went to see a Prague show.
That's
And
good. I'm also there this year. That's really cool, right?
the Prague show is really really nice,
Yeah.
and people are really really crazy about bodybuilding. I was quite impressed by the audience and the feeling there was there. So definitely Prague is one show I want to do as an open.
I'm watching Prague this year, so that will really be cool because I have an amateur competing at the pro qualifier a day before, and then we're gonna watch the pro show as well. That will be a really nice experience. Um, Tampa is of course cool because Steve Weinberger is judging, but the venue is like really small in Tampa. Did you see it? Like it's like a
Yeah,
really small room, right? So I think compared venue wise, Europe is even better than America. I think in most cases, right?
yeah. And I forget Portugal. Portugal is always a show
Yeah.
that I love. That's where I won my first pro win. So that's definitely a show I want to compete again in Portugal in the casino.
Okay, yeah, it's like awesome. I mean, didn't you do a classic show there at the pro? Right, you did, right? You even won there, right?
I won there. I won the Portugal Pro
Classic.
as a classic. Yeah,
Yeah, so you already have been on the spinning wheel coming
yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's really cool. All right, um, you still living at the same place you lived last time we spoke, or did you change location as well?
No, I'm in the same place in the north of Spain. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so you still got a great gym next to your door. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thanks for being on the podcast. I think that's the most important question I already asked you. Um, how can I support you or any guys listening to the podcast support you because they want to support real hard work and not that social media guys?
They can follow me on Instagram. That's the main social media where I'm active. Um, so
What about your YouTube channel? As you were doing YouTube last year, did you stop or didn't you want to
yeah,
keep going?
I didn't find a video maker that would be with me every time that I want to make a video. So for
Hmm.
now, that's a standby channel. I think I will go back to YouTube once I'm in prep because people like to see people in prep suffering. Uh, and so maybe for next prep, for my pro debut in Open, I will come back doing some video on YouTube.
Mhm. One question I got left: is it hard for you mentally to not be on the spot that much anymore? Because any sites like Bison Tries, Bodybuilders of Border, Sulios, and stuff were reporting about you because you were in prep, and you also created some kind of hype because Antoine Loth was coming to the show. He gonna be the favorite. He gonna win the show and stuff. And now you got a long off season and still some time in off season ahead. Um, do you feel like the the recognition of the world isn't at you, or the focus of the social media world isn't at you right now anymore, and do you think it's a bad thing?
Um, I think that's not a bad thing because I think that we all need to be able to step back from that hype from the social media, and for sure it creates an addiction to the like, to the comments, to be in the spotlight. Um, but we also need to be able to relax and accept that now it's not my time. My time will come again. uh, I will make sure to make an impact, and I will be in the spotlight again, no matter what. Just the time, and now it's time to maybe to enjoy more life, to have some more balance. I know that balance is quite uh, a, a debate in the bodybuilding industry, and I may be one of the few that did not have any balance before about that. So I'm trying my best now to be a little bit more open and to enjoy every part of life and not just bodybuilding.
Okay. Are you even having off meals in off season? Because you're like the most 100% guy I personally know. And I can't imagine having you eating a pizza or stuff even in off season.
Uh, that's Martin of order. I have to have two off meal per week now, so I'm listening to
So,
the plan.
so on top of the plan, or do you switch one meal off because of the off meal?
No, I'm switching one meal for an off meal
But without
because
Martin,
otherwise,
you wouldn't do it, right?
sorry.
Without Martin, you wouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't have an off meal.
Maybe once every 3 weeks.
That's what I was expecting. All right, very cool. Yeah, I think it's a pretty sad thing because some guys are really interested in you in prep and they don't look at you anymore just because you're doing off season, and they should know it's part of the sport and that you are still
Yeah,
the same person, right? And yeah, maybe that's just not the followers you need because they are just addicted by your physique and not by your personality, and that's yeah, that's pretty sad to
exactly.
see, I think. So, but you can sort out pretty well who's still following in your off season, so who's a real supporter.
That, that's true. That's true.
All right. So thanks for taking the time to talk with me. It was really fun as always. Yeah, maybe we're gonna meet at a show pretty soon. Are you visiting any shows this year, like Prague again or stuff, or is there anything planned?
For the end of the year, I don't think so. Maybe next year I will attend some show like Portugal or Empro or where show I like to go. So when are you competing? Because I
Uh,
know you.
yeah, I'm talking with Stefan because I thought I like to do a whole year of off season to be competitive at the end of year of 2025 in open maybe already, but I don't know if I can make it actually, if I can build enough tissue and also have the quality yet because I'm really young, you
Yeah.
know. And so he wanted me to do spring already and then try to put me into 212. So
Okay.
yeah, because but I was 100 kilo at stage or at weigh-ins already in Portugal this year, and that would be like 4 kilos down, and I have like 6 months of off season. I don't know if I really want to go down to 212 then, but I don't.
What is your height?
173. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm also a little bit too big for 212. I think below 170 would be better, and it would be just like one show to make a pro debut. But actually, I prefer to do a pro debut where I'm really competitive and not just taking part of the show, right?
Totally
And
understand it. Yeah.
I'm planning. Maybe I'm planning to do spring, get my pro card, and then go back into off season and do my pro debut 1 year later in
Okay.
26, because that's the time where I think I can really have an impact on pro shows. Maybe
Yeah.
at the end of 225, I don't know how fast I'm growing right now, but I'm gonna talk with Stefan and just do what he thinks is best for me. Right? That's the point basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, I like to visit shows, anyways, and I'm at many pro shows and amateur shows as well because I having a lot of athletes I coach. So maybe we want to meet there anyways. So,
Yeah.
yeah, or
I'm sure
maybe
we will.
I just come to visit you once. We do a training camp and do some YouTube stuff in
Yeah, for
Spain.
sure. We can eat well here. You have good gym, so
Yeah, it
everything
will be
perfect.
perfect. All right, we will
And
stay in contact anyways and just keep growing like that.
thank
I
you.
know. Maybe next time I see you, I don't recognize you again because you're looking completely different once again. Because to the listeners who are listening right now, I saw him in Titan Gym in Alicante, and he got so big I didn't realize him anymore. I really thought it would be a different guy, and he was just looking at me and was like, I should know him, but he's so big. Who's this guy?" And oh, a really funny situation. Maybe that happens again. at
Yeah,
the end of
maybe.
your. We will see. That would be cool. All right, man. Thanks for being on. Thanks for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow Antoine and also the podcast. And yeah, see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ciao.